hotspots, things of that nature, evidence-based type of initiatives. We implemented them probably halfway between, or it was actually January 15th, 16th, which is the time frame that we use. During that time frame from January 15th through February 24th, I'm sorry, we've been able to drive those numbers down significantly. Right now through February the 24th, our auto burglaries have gone down significantly. We're now at 11%. Our burglaries, commercial, residential, non-residential, are 9%, and our auto thefts are actually showing a negative right now. We're at a negative 10%. When you break it down through the time frame of our projects that we've implemented, we'll present some of those strategies and initiatives here in a little bit. But during that time frame, we're actually at negative 20%. Vehicle and burglaries in general are all in single digits at 5%. So the work is it's happening, and we're actually proud of a lot of the work that's being put out there. It's a department-wide strategy. So hopefully we can continue on with that in that trajectory to keep these numbers.
LCPD. The first slide you see up here is going to be our traffic section. The numbers is just a comparison from 2021 to 2022. You see that there's an increase just under 10% across all three categories of crashes. That increase is concerning to us. We've had a lot of discussion about pedestrian safety and other things related to it. So it's definitely not a trend we want to see continue. I want to take a moment to explain the traffic study process because you guys get a lot of complaints in that area, and it'd be good for the public to know kind of how that works. So when we receive a complaint, either at the police department or one of you guys receives a complaint and it gets sent to us, we initiate a traffic study. And the point of the traffic study is to get data and evidence so we can make decisions to allocate our resources based on severity and need. So we generally place a data recorder box, which gathers all the data for what's going on in that area for at least a week, many times much longer. And that answers three important questions for us. One, is there a problem? Two, how bad is the problem? And three, what days and what times is the problem occurring most? So if we turn it into an enforcement project, we can now pick the dates, or the days of the week and the times to have the biggest impact. We also use our traffic trailers, which is the trailers where you see the posted speed limit and then the speed that you're traveling as you pass by. As a part of this, those have a deterrent effect in and of themselves. They tend to reduce the amount of speeding by themselves, and then they also record data. So we're able to compare the time when the trailer is there, the times when the trailer is not. And we have pole-mounted systems that do the same. And then the enforcement projects are generated based on either traffic study results or from crash data in high crash areas. I'm going to spend a while on this one. Obviously, the chief just presented the crime numbers. We're concerned with the crime numbers, the citizens, the businesses, and of course, council and city management is concerned with the crime numbers. They're not what we want to see. That being said, there's many things that are outside the control of the police department and are outside the control of the city of Las Cruces as a whole. We can't focus on those. What we've decided is we're going to do everything that's within our power to impact these numbers. So over the past 3 months, there's been a lot of foundation being laid, a lot of groundwork. All the operations lieutenants have received a lot of training in their ability to pull data themselves, process that data, get the variables they want. The city's GIS folks have been very gracious. They've come into the police department several times, spent hours with us, training us in how to use ArcGIS, helping with discussion and then developing products to help us respond to trends faster, and again, use evidence to drive our decision making. The first bullet point is department-wide proactive crime reduction strategy. All these other individual projects underneath that are very important and they're having an effect, but it has to be under the umbrella of a department-wide philosophy in crime reduction. And that philosophy has to be based on evidence and what we know works. Fortunately, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of studies that have been done throughout the United States and the world. And although there's different variables in these different jurisdictions, we see the same trends. So we have a good idea of what tends to work in most places, and we can use that as a framework and then adapt to our city from there. And that's what we've done. Now that that foundation has been laid, our shift lieutenants have developed an individual shift proactive project. So each shift is different because they face different challenges and crimes during their times, and they have different locations in the city that might be problems during their shift times. But all 3 shifts have been going full force since the middle of January, all the way through February.